We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
All right. A little something special for the WGGBMUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the Algarve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back. Foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool, just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 20 more, 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start, I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start, I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Portimão party is the place we flee for the friends we see and these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
It is the gold medal game here at the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships, a repeat of last year's final, Merica versus Young Legends. Merica in blue, Young Legends in grey, and Merica going down the far sideline to begin. Krutzinger punches into De Frondeville, and Merica takes a 1-0 lead with a smooth, clean hold.
And what a way to start this one out, Benji, after a super deep pull from Young Legends. They couldn't quite pin Team Merica in Callahan County for very long. This was just timing like a clock from Switzerland.
It is Benji Reese alongside Hannah Pendlebury in the booth, as it has been all week. We have loved life out here on the sands of the Praia da Rocha, Portimão, Portugal. A beautiful setting for EBUCC last weekend and for the WGGBMUCC this week as well. And this gold medal match, hopefully a fitting finale to the end of the season.
Well, we have severe weather warnings coming across this coast from the waves. They are reaching 4 and 4.5 meters high. So we're actually under not the severe weather we thought we'd, though. We looked at the forecast coming into this championship, Benji. We were worried we might have some thunder and lightning to contend with, but the sun has come back out and it is shining down on these final placement games.
It's finals day. Of course the sun was going to come out. I don't know why anyone was worried. When was a finals day ever effective? Okay, forget about that, yeah.
Except most world championships for the past 5 to 10 years. But a nice opener for Team Merica. Let's see how the Germans can respond.
Another strong pull from Merica. Schunk picks up at the back of his end zone. Plays the 1-2 with Bircher. Schunk rips it deep. He's looking for Achenbach. Oh, it is tipped. But if you don't catch your knees, Jens Achenbach is going to make you pay. The crowd enjoyed that one. Achenbach to Rudy Vital. Vital into the end zone. Oh, it's a floater. Tipped. Yes, no, to the floor eventually. A real fustercluck underneath the disc.
A sky ball if ever there was. Jens Achenbach, though, no mistakes on that initial reception. A slight loose disc there and the pack underneath it. And turnover will stand.
So Young Legends nearly turned on the long shot that was Deed, but still landed in Achenbach's hands. Now Merica looking for a break.
Well, like you say, Benji, you got to catch your Ds, especially on this beach surface, that coastal wind.
Yeah, neither side unbeaten coming into this final. Young Legends dropped a pool game to No Su O. Well, Merica also had an upset in pool play, losing out to Sweden's Rainbow Warriors, but it put them on opposite sides of the bracket, and somehow we've ended up with a rematch of last year's final that at one point seemed unlikely. If you're going to find form, find it when it's win or go home. Looking down the line, Sanchez dishing off. Nolte downfield. Jody DeZono. They find a reset. Nolte. Nolte to Graf. What will Mega do? With a stall count rising again towards the sideline, now getting it back. You can see the gesticulating, trying to make sure that they get that spacing sorted out downfield. Sanchez looking one way, then t'other. What will he find? It's just another reset. Going laterally, there is the force down the line for Merica. Going into the sand is Nolte. Did he keep that up is the question. Lawrence is the thrower.
Well, benefit of the doubt being given by Jens Achenbach. And that was a close call. A bit of a dirty break, but it's effective nonetheless for Team Merica off the Young Legends' loose final attempt at the scoring pass.
It's technically a clean break, but it's...
Oh no, there's nothing clean about that. On the action replay, just
it
about...
It does look like he does get that left hand underneath it.
Yep, squeaks it through. And
so
it will do.
An early break for Merica. Both sides really scrambled through the bracket.
Yeah, that first hand underneath the disc, just about.
Young Legends, 12-13. A sudden death 1-point win over Rainbow Warriors in the quarterfinals. Beat 10-8 man down in the semi-final that we streamed this morning. Merica, we streamed their quarterfinal against No Su O, where they won 10-8, and then they themselves another tight one, 8-6 over Hurt. So both of these sides really fighting through the bracket. It shows the parity on display at this championships at the top end.
And that's exactly what you want to see, Benji. The 16-strong division just getting better and better every year.
Lolgan, oh, just a miscommunication. Threw it behind the receiver, I think Schmidt, who sealed their semi-final victory with a sensational deep grab. Merica will look to pull away. Faking the hammer, going into the center of the pitch. Fjellstad dishes off Kale, around, Seal. Kale looking down the line, cramming it in. Here's the captain, Dan Powers. Powers just about dishes that off. Past Schmidt. Kale bangs the disc on his shorts, trying to clear that out. There's going to be a stoppage. Logan's on the sand. Disc check back in. Thinking about that little push there. Instead, delicious inside flick. Oh, it is bobbled. Did Powers come up with it?
Well, he's saying it's good. That looked a little loose, but heck, you've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the person with their hands touching the disc.
Yeah, Felgner was right there, and he did not look in any doubt, signaled the goal. So it's 3-0 now to Merica. They have come flying out of the traps here.
Indeed, very ready to go. And they are sailing away with this one, 3-0 lead, which is very similar to what we saw in the semi-final, Benji. Oh, sorry, I take that back. It was the 5th place game that we saw that 3-point lead from Notsuo, who just never looked back. And of course, that was a big test for this Team Merica side at the beginning of this championship bracket. But creative throw choices giving the goal for Team Merica.
Score check, it's 3-0 cameras, 3-0.
So 3-0 lead Team Merica, Benji.
Yeah, a very ominous start here. You can see Eurodisc, the official disc supplier for this tournament. The pink Eurodisc showing up well against the Iberian sands. Shunk strides forward purposefully to the brick mark. Cannot afford to give up another break here. But struggling to find separation downfield. There is a stoppage. Achenbach's engaged in discussion with Lars Fjellstad.
Well, that's the beauty of the self-refereed sport. It's up to the players in the field to chat things through and make the calls.
Here's Vital. Oh, that high one just about escapes the clutches of the bidding defender Glass.
Oh, ouch. He just went straight into the feet of Shunk. Sort of a flail D.
You can see his eyes locked on the disc. Comes up, landing on Shunk, who seems okay. He's a big piece for young legends. Foul called.
You can't just be throwing your body around the pitch, even on this more forgiving surface, Benji. You have to at all times be mindful of the other players and try and avoid contact. That's one of the key things, of course, of this non-contact sport. Because, of course, we're playing on the WFDF rule set, where you can't say, I was making a play on the disc, therefore it doesn't count.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether you get the disc first or not. If you have to initiate contact in order to make the play, that is considered a foul. Here's Vital with the inside-out shot all the way through. Achenbach jumps it into the end zone for the score. Young legends get on the board. It is 3-1 they trail to Merica, as there's a wave going in the stand on the far side.
And you can hear a yell of Auf geht's Start from the far sideline. That lovely put just falling perfectly into the arms of Jens Achenbach, who had quite a quiet semi-final, Benji, but has been all over the start board. Rudiger Feitel there with this assist. I think I saw him sauntering around the sidelines wearing a Sexpensive shirt.
You might be able to see, actually, it's the kind of it's a zebra print number that is actually still under his jersey. And I'll be honest, I don't think you necessarily need an undershirt in this weather, but whatever helps you feel comfortable.
Indeed, Sexpensive, of course, a extremely renowned beach ultimate party team hosting Copa Tanga these days, but of course before it was all about their secret parties at Paganello and Rimini.
I once had a teammate who turned down an invite to the Sexpensive party so he could hang out with us and get a bit of work done.
Oh my goodness. Well, your teammate and I make extremely different life choices.
Don't worry, Tomorrow, I'm not going to name and shame you. Oh, damn it. Underneath here is Nia, with the double zeros on his back. Switzer with the hammer, he uncorks it towards the far side, and it's got that float on it for Jeremy Clark to reel it in 4-1 to Merica. With their offense having not taken the field for a few points, it seems that they are still very much dialed in.
Well, Jeremy Clark is a huge target for Team Merica in more ways than one. 6'4", standing tall. And it honestly made me giggle a little bit. I had to mute myself for a moment. Aaron Switzer came with an undercut during that point. Got looked off. And the frustration as he put his arms out, went, what? But it just clearly made him hungrier to throw that big, big arcing hammer across the pitch to Jeremy Clark.
Yeah, Switzer played for some of the storied programs out in the States. Atlanta's Chain Nightling, Rhino Slam up in Oregon. The nice guys from Los Angeles as well.
But it does always make me giggle.
Here's the pull. Over the top to Achenbach. Finds Schunk. Getting it back. Trying to quarterback, as the Americans would say, the German offense. Down the line. That's 2 down, and the foul on the mark there from Lawrence. Quickly accepted.
Yeah, you could see the way the disc immediately hit the dust. That's not the throwing form we expect from Jens Achenbach. Phil Lawrence, a 44-year-long ultimate CV. Plays a D-line handler.
Here's the swing, a little bit of a riser, not a problem for Vital. Achenbach looking deep over the top. Sanchez wants to close, and he made Pirelli come close and attack the disc, and it just zips through there. That one, layout bit doesn't get there. Schunk tries to apply the force, but he's peeled off, and that means there's a player wide open deep. Graf is all alone. DeZono motors towards the end zone. They are looked off, though. Goes to Lawrence in the backfield. Lawrence has Sanchez unmarked. Again, trying to get low, not allow the wind to take these. Sanchez doesn't like the look of Graf at the first time of asking. Will Nolte find him? No. Just playing it calm, cool in the red zone. They want to walk this in if they can. Thought Nolte was going to go for the offhand backhand there to DeZono, but instead the offhand comes out as it finds Sanchez, and Nolte to Sanchez gives Merica another break. 5-1. They are coming out in this final hungrier than you could imagine for that gold medal.
Well, maybe thinking they've got a bit of a point to prove here, do Team Merica, and they do have fire underneath their butts here out on the sand, moving across it like they were born to do so. Feathery moves, and perhaps Young Legends had to put a little bit more effort into their games coming through to this gold medal match. Of course, having just about swung that 10-8 lead over Man Down in the semi-final on this live stream. And at the moment, Team Merica just looking that little bit more patient. I really find it really interesting, Benji, how they move the disc so smoothly upfield, but oftentimes leave themselves without a continuation. That's the only thing I think they could possibly improve on at the moment in their form for their offense, is just making sure someone else is coming through as well. But perhaps that's the key, just retaining your energy and waiting for the resets to fall behind you. Especially on beach, which is the sand is such a sapping surface. A very different final to last year that was windy as anything, way up on the Beaufort scale. That's when it feels like there's a lot more traditional offense actually being played. Leaning back, Lolgan puts air underneath him, and a brilliant layout. Nicely done from the number 69 of Volker Schmidt, making it 5-2. If you want to get your team fired up, a play like that is a good way of doing so. That could be the energizer. Well, Volker Schmidt's play has been gorgeous all tournament long. Been playing for 38 years, coming out of Munich in Germany at the present, but has represented Gummy Bears and Mir Sanmir. Says hello to his wonderful family fans at home. And I'm sure if you're not familiar with Volker Schmidt, what rock A have you been hiding under? And B, welcome to the party.
I think I said that gummy bears were from Heidelberg earlier, but they're probably from Karlsruhe, right?
Indeed, the gummy Barschen, who we're, of course, used to seeing up in the tops. German Ultimate, of course, has a wonderful history on beach, which is not necessarily what you'd expect from them.
No, you don't really think, when you think of Germany, you think of, you know, gorgeous mountains, deep, intense forests. You don't necessarily think of sunlit beaches, but...
Yeah, you think of Sperchler, and of course the classics Bratwurst beer.
Yeah, there have been very popular beach tournaments in Germany in the past. Thinking about Bum in Berlin.
Oh, yes. But played on sand pitches rather than by the beach with those coastal winds.
Yeah, it's not a real beach.
But nor is it a real beach in many places. The Japanese beach championships is in fact because Japan is more of a coastal rock face nation than sandy beaches that you can play ultimate frisbee on. So actually they had flooding issues because they brought in loads of sand from Australia.
Yeah, Sophia Pereira, Bula president, was telling us that when they went out there for the Asia and Oceania beach championships, yeah, all the sand has to be imported in, which feels like a wild state of affairs. Here's Jolly. Oh, a difficult read there, but expertly adjusted for, and Jeremy Clark snags his second goal. 2-6. Merica 1 point from taking a half already. Compared to the bronze medal match, which was a real attritional grind, Merica have been so clean, they've not even turned the disc over yet.
It is dynamite stuff from the team in blue. As you say, a really difficult ask of Jeremy Clark, sort of having to just put his head straight up almost on a swivel and bring that one in. Currently residing in Santa Cruz. There is a lot of toll on this Team Merica side, and they've used it very, very well. Similar story for Jolly, also a big man, 6'4" alongside. So they stand exactly the same height as each other, those two. Coming out of the Swamp Rats, the 5-time Mixed Master Beach National Champion from 2015 through 2019, and of course getting champs with Boneyard back in 2014 and Junkyard.
Played college ultimate at ECU, which I think is Eastern Carolina University. Happy to be corrected.
Oh, I'm not gonna doubt you, Benji. I'm sure you're right.
Usually am, annoyingly. Iman downfield, just about into the chest of Hertel. Foul accepted by Graf.
Yeah, great hustle out of Sean Vega.
Yeah, and Mega getting back on the mark, but the disc goes back to Lolgan. We've seen that he can put it deep, this time past the bidding Sanchez. Schmidt surveying options with the stall count rising. Zips one back to Iman. Iman with a blade, that's too much. Just floats over the head of Felgner. Merica can take half here, unless, for the first time all game, Young Legends can generate a turnover.
Yeah, a little bit on the back foot. Maybe had to give too much in their semi-final.
DeZono charges off deep. It's faked at by Nolte. Here's Sanchez. Nolte wanted to zip that one in to Graf. Schmidt bids for it. There's an opportunity. Graf, it's floating towards the far sideline. Will it come down in bounds? It will indeed. Merica take half, 7-2 on the score from Graf to Sanchez. What a first half from Merica. They are not going to let this gold medal go down easily, are they?
Well, it might have been Mega with the throw, but that was an absolute titanic read there. Sitting underneath that one, a bit of a potentially chuck it and hope, just the vision to see him trotting towards that far sideline, and a great little clutch catch. Just thinks about the tape behind him, but at the end of the day, the defender had given up completely, and at the moment it feels a little bit like Young Legends have been swallowed by the sand monsters. They're just not really appearing here in this final.
Yeah, for Young Legends, Sanchez read that one like a fairy tale. And unfortunately for Young Legends, it's looking a bit grim out there at the moment. 7-2 the score.
Well, Sanchez, you talk about reading some fairy tales. He says his all his past teammates get a shout out, and his mum. So perhaps she was the one reading him back in the day, those little fantasy tales that send kiddos to sleep. But I am wide awake watching Team Merica play.
Yeah, used to picking up gold on the beach is Sanchez. Picked up gold in Dubai, playing for USA Grandmasters. Back in 2015, the pool lands out the back of the end zone. Young Legends will begin the second half with a brick pull.
And a little sigh from the crowd as that one lands out of bounds. Nice to see them all getting involved. Of course, many of the games having wrapped up here. But it's a nice feature, Benji, that many of the people in the gold medal match can actually attend the tournament party, because it's tonight.
It is indeed, and we'll be there representing as well. If you've not had a look at our YouTube channel, you can find already where you might find some of the players at the party, what their usual party plan and role is. That one, it came a little bit weirdly out of the hand of Zormaier. There's a foul called.
Yeah, and Sandra Zormaier there calling the foul, completely accepted by her mark from Jodie DeZono. The geriatric physical therapist. They currently reside in Portland.
I don't think she's that old. Oh, I see what you mean. Right, they're not talking about their own age. They're talking about the age of the patients. Right, I see. I see as a layout bit on the far sideline. Foul on the throw. Quite physical marks going on here.
Yeah, hopefully Team Merica can back off a little bit, get a little bit less handsy.
That one defender loses their footing. Still count rising. Shunk, with the blade towards the far sideline to Achenbach. Here's Zormaier. The open reset is vital. I'm pretty sure there's a pick in the center there. Disc will stay with Vital, I imagine, with no stall.
Yeah, a little cluster of players in the middle, but a good grind here from Young Legends as they look to put this one in, maybe for pride in the end.
Zormaier. If they want to get the break train rolling, they've got to leave on offense. But Zormaier, you could see, just almost shivering and tingling in frustration.
Yeah, so having to throw against the wind as well as get around their very fired up opponents. Young Legends give the disc away once more.
Brought in on the front cone by Dan Powers. And Dan Powers, for the first time, sees the disc go awry for Merica.
Yeah, fantastic forcing there. The big wingspan of Rudiger Veitel used to fantastic effect.
I think Veitel got a hand on it. Couldn't quite see from my angle initially.
Well, either way, it will be good enough to give Pirelli, Klaus Schunk, the goal line advantage.
And he's going to immediately take that open swing into the backfield. Create a bit more lateral space for the Germans. I'm saying the disc goes back. I didn't see what for.
It's a bit of contact and hustle and bustle in the end zone as Achenbach tries to get himself available.
Veitel towards the far sideline. I don't think Zormaier could get underneath it. She couldn't.
Yeah, basically just threw that one straight at the sand.
And that one is also going to go through the sand. Poof Clark created a little post box. And the disc was sent through express delivery. That one, Shunk was coming towards the sideline. It gave Glass the opportunity to get underneath it. First time in this game we're seeing a point over with multiple turns each side. Powers to Kale. I think Kale's frustrated with maybe a lack of movement downfield, at least as he sees it. Powers gets hand blocked again by Vital. Second time this point.
Oh, he's got his number, that's for sure.
That's a matchup you imagine Young Legends will try and get again, as this time Vital gets the bookends. Shunk punches it in at the front of the end zone. 3-7. Finally, Young Legends again generating turns on Merica. Now they'll need to be able to do it on defense.
Well, that is going to be a hard ask. It's a bit of a mountain to climb, although we've said that Germany is famed for having wonderful mountaineering opportunities back home in Germany. Let's see if they can get their crampons out and start the advance.
Hello to everyone watching on YouTube, by the way. Over 150 to you, 150 of you, and those getting involved in the chat, reminiscing about matching up against some of these players a quarter of a century ago. And the aforementioned Tim in chat as well. Work is a party. I mean, it is for us when we work for ulti.TV.
Absolutely. There's nowhere else we'd rather be than here on the sands in Portimão, covering this fantastic championship. It's been so much fun. And if you want to keep this coverage free, please do consider becoming a patron, or if you just want to spend a couple of kilojoules of energy, hit that like and subscribe button.
I don't know how strong your mouse is that it takes a couple of kilojoules of energy to activate, but I'm interested. I think there's definitely a market there. Switzer with the blade over the top. Was looking for Linforth Hall, but he couldn't reel it in. Holtkamaya. Achenbach tries, it's not Achenbach, excuse me. It's Schoenberg who tries to power through. And on a high stall, trying to get it across the field. Switzer overthrows Kratzinger.
And the nutmeg on the sideline.
I'm pretty sure that means that he owes the thrower a beer. At least that's the rules where I come from. Achenbach's trying to G the crowd up there. Obviously, we have neutral rooting interests in the booth. We just always like good close games. And Young Legends are going to have to start getting those breaks back if they want to see that. Underneath is going to require the layout. Not a problem for Schmidt. Schmidt really pings that one through to Staffansson. Staffansson back to Schmidt. Schmidt finds Holtkamaya poached. Back to Schmidt. Schoenberg tries to motor underneath. High stall down the sideline. Staffansson, first Young Legends break of the game is Schmidt to Staffansson. They're not going down just yet. 4-7 is the score.
Oh, well, hopefully Volker Schmidt didn't do anything too untoward to his body. He really had to step out into that pivot. You saw him just sit there in the sand for probably about a minute or so after that huge backhand release, taking on the marks of Team Merica over and over again. And that is what you have to do against this defense. You just have to put it onto the soft side of the pitch, whether or not it's those inside breaks to generate that bish-bosh flow around the side, or if it's just straight up breaking the mark like a China doll. But that's a bit more like it for Young Legends. A little bit late to the party, but a timeout being taken, Benji.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for us to get a little breather in the booth. You can stretch off at home as well and enjoy these delightful adverts as ulti.TV will see you for the rest of the gold medal game on the other side.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ulti.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Welcome back to the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships. Benji Reese and Hannah Pendlebury in the booth, loving life for the final game of what has been a brilliant tournament. Merica up 7-4 on Young Legends, who have just got their first break of the game. Still got lots of work to do, though. Jolly collecting that one underneath. He's thinking about the deep shot. He's going for the deep shot, but de Frondeville looked frustrated as he knew he couldn't get there.
Yeah, Alex de Frondeville, not one of the most rapid players on Team Merica. You don't often see him necessarily going into deep space, more chucking those biscuits to his other teammates. The 5'11", so one of the smaller men on the roster, can we say that? We've got a couple of big giants.
I mean, he's over half a foot taller than I am, but that says more about me than it does about him. Indeed
it does, and I'm loving this Jens Achenbach, Jeremy Clark matchup, the 91 and 31, the center of the pitch right now.
Vital. There's a cut towards that break side, expertly distributed to Lang. I can barely get my words out. I'm simmering with excitement. Oh, that is an overthrow, air-mailed from Vital. Clark didn't get the D cleanly, but he was there to hoover up at the second attempt. I should probably say vacuum up, shouldn't I? Always forget that Hoover's a brand name. That one, Switzer, past Vital.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact there. Not sure if Switzer just stepped through the mark, but he definitely leaves Rudiger Vital there on the floor, just recovering. Perhaps a bit of touch of hip to face.
Switzer's another one with a menagerie at home. He's got 2 llamas, 3 goats, a turkey, 5 chickens, and 1 crazy dog.
Well, there are a couple of people preparing themselves for any eventuality who live on the other side of the Atlantic, Benji.
By the way, if that's not a pet list that says, yes, I live in Oregon, I don't know what it is. Here's de Frondeville. De Frondeville unleashes the hammer, and it is bang on. Clark, you could see his eyes light up all the way from over here as he makes the catch. 8-4 now to Merica.
Well, my goodness, what a throw that was. All the way into the end zone. Alex de Frondeville with a huge arm for Team Merica, and they maintain this lead 4 points over their opponents and the Young Legends. Much better defensive stand there from the team in grey, but perhaps showing up to the party a little bit more than fashionably late are the German club. But the height, well exploited in the end zone. Jeremy Clark collecting another one.
There's de Frondeville with that most American of looks, the cap backwards and the sunglasses.
Indeed, well, caps are really useful playing Ultimate, whether or not you've got them frontwards or backwards. They're good at keeping the sand out of your eyes, the wind out your eyes.
Or the sun off the back of your neck.
Exactly. No one ever thinks about the sunburn on that particular region. It's very unpleasant.
Here's Logan. Logan with an absolute steamer of a put. Did not give Hertel a real chance at it, and Hertel looked round frustrated at the thrower.
Well, maybe forgetting to adjust for this wind at his back. It was a nice idea. The separation was there, and Hertel has been such a reliable deep receiver, usually collecting just shy of the goal line, popping in the assist.
But that one, just, I think, too much sauce, not enough finesse on it.
Indeed, you have to throw with touch in this win, and you'd expect better from the Great Grandmasters division, but sometimes they forget to.
And even if you know you can, sometimes it's still difficult to execute. Sanchez. Across to no one. Lawrence was the target, but not on the right line there. Hertel picks up quickly. He's looking. Oh, Hertel wants a hammer as well. And Sanchez, I think, got a mitt on it. Schmidt looked at Hertel. Did that really need to go, I think, is the thought? Or was it a question of he saw de Frondeville rip one and he thought he wanted a piece of that action?
Well, you've got to bring it out for the live stream, Benji, and in a gold medal match, why the heck not when you're down 4 points?
Should have been a thumber, that's why. Here's Lawrence. Devilish low release. Dizono, did they get a hand underneath it? I'm not sure. No, they give it up wisely. I say wisely, very spiritedly. This one, again, gunned downfield. Felgner, once more, they're trying to get Vital. Not Vital, excuse me, it's Volker Schmidt. But again, they don't have that link up.
Well, read extremely well by Arnold Sanchez. It's like he was in the mind of the thrower.
I think he's certainly reading the eyes a little bit.
Just need that a little bit of extra creativity and patience, do young legends.
Phil Lawrence brings to the front. Finds one now through. Graf sticks out that right hand. The gloved right hand, and it goes in. Fjellstad, loaf on the back of his jersey, but not loafing around doing a lot of work downfield. Sanchez gets Schmidt on the floor. Volker picks himself up. Now Sanchez. Again, they find Dizono. So expert at finding those little pockets and then sitting there to exploit them. They seem to be having a trouble getting the disc off, but I think they've been fouled.
Indeed, having had a long break, nice to see Dizono back on the pitch. Previously played for Fury and Schwa.
Still rising, just a little dish there to Fjellstad. Sanchez in the center. Been so big defensively. Can he find a double happiness? No! Hertel has other ideas.
Well, after being denied the score so many times by this particular line coming out of Team Merica, he closes the door.
Lolgan trying to find underneath, but Graf was really waiting for it. You could see again they're reading the eyes, and he steps into the throwing lane. Sanchez motors towards the disc, picks up. Here is the guy who got the D, Graf. Graf now looking to float one into the end zone. All this is going to invite pressure, and Schmidt and Fjellstad end up in a bundle on the floor.
Now, this is an interesting one. If that's a foul call coming out of Lars Fjellstad, I'm not entirely sure I like it. The two were very close. It was a sky ball in the air. Certainly that prevented a secondary bid, but it's going to go back. Contested foul, that's fair. But that was definitely a hospital pass, Benji.
Yeah, I think Schmidt had better position there. Not sure the crowd like it, but...
Bear with me.
To be honest, I don't think the crowd ever likes any call ever, regardless of how legitimate it is, especially when it's from an underdog, when it doesn't benefit the underdog. That one down the line, Lawrence keeps that foot inbounds, keeping it in the playing field proper. Back to Sanchez. Sanchez towards that far sideline.
It's another hand block, but it just pings.
Fjellstad, back to Sanchez. The forcing of the Germans has been so tough. Again, Hertel saw another opportunity. Oh, it is popped up, but it just lands in the lap of Lawrence, past the bidding Schmidt, into the end zone to Fjellstad for a helter-skelter score.
Oh my goodness, that is literally seat of the pants activity. Oh my, just woof. That was just insane. Look at this one. It just sits up in the air. Hertel having got a hand block on the previous one. So there we go. That's the replay of the hand block from before. And you can see the little ping there just gets the edge of it. It means that there has to be the layout from Lars Fjellstad. Sanchez putting this Sky Biscuit up in the end. A really loose release on that. Nearly the hand in the mixer. Lawrence, though, with the veteran read, sees that one coming. Huge play from Volker Schmidt to try and claw it back, and that's a break in eventuality for Merica, and they have turned the screws once more. Midsection of this game, Benji, things started to look a little bit loose, like it might be a momentum changer for Young Legends, but it's all becoming very familiar now. Breaks littered across the scoreboard for Team Merica. 9-4 they lead.
The two number 11s, Lawrence and Felgner, went up for that disc. Lawrence came down with it, and with Felgner out of position, he was able to strike into the end zone for the score, as that pull, aiming for the back corner, lands out of bounds, so will be brought in from the brick.
Yeah, next offensive opportunity, Benji, for Young Legends. Do you reckon we might see some zone, put their big chaps at the back?
We will see. They've got to put the point in on offense if they want to get the break train rolling.
But something, anything to try and change up the defense and the rhythm.
Shunk to Vital. Vital down the line. Powers looking for it. Second effort bid, not quite. Powers attacking it meant that Bircher tried to attack it as well. And then the adjustment going for the second effort didn't get there. Nolte picks up, trying to be the engine of the D-line offense. Powers, I think, is going to have to take a sub. I wonder if he's got one in the eye.
Well, perhaps a bit of granulation in his ocular area. An injury call as Dan Powers comes on the field. No one helping him off, which is a bit awkward because he doesn't seem to be able to see very well.
Get that man some eye drops.
Indeed. But yeah, you could see on the adjustment there, Christoph Botcher, if he'd seen it that tiny millisecond earlier, that would have been a grab for sure.
I think they brought Seal on as the sub. Here is the rip they're looking for. Seal. Can Seal lay out? Oh, it would have been magnificent had he come up with it. But it is hair's breadth too far.
Well, the fresh leg just falcon punches the disc out of contention. And Young Legends, the full stretch to go. Whoa, this is just thrilling stuff. Even with such space in the scoreline, Benji, they're keeping us guessing.
It's not been, yeah. I think the scoreline is deceptive as to how exciting this game has been. Vital utilising that wingspan underneath. Just a little bit of air underneath that one towards the break side for Lang. Lang central to Bircher. Vital with the rip right down the strip. Can they catch up to it? Yes, he can! Christian Lang with the lay to make it 9-5.
Well, that was just absolutely stunning.
Getting confirmation from the sideline that the cap went on during that point. So we have game to 10, I think. We'll try and see if we can get a bit of confirmation on that from the scorekeepers.
Well, that gave us everything we wanted, plus a little extra. Another on the board for Young Legends. They might have left it too late. It is indeed going to be a game to 10, as you see. Rudiger Vital there, just giving some sage words of wisdom as he'll take a well-earned break on the sideline.
So both sides know the task in front of them. For Merica, 1 point away from another gold medal. For Young Legends, 5 on the bounce. A tough ask against any team, let alone a team the quality of Merica, especially when you've only got one break all game. But until Merica put it in, very much game on still.
I mean, Benji, if we saw a meteoric comeback here, I would not be in the least bit displeased. But at the moment, it is really Team Merica's to throw away after that huge start.
Clark to Krutzinger. Down the sideline now, DeFrondeville faking it. He's thinking about the score. He's gone very ambitious with the backhand blade over the top. The greatest attempt from Clark. I'll tell you what, I'd have to have a look at it again, but I think it would have been good had they got the completion. However, still such heads-up play.
How was no one expecting that to come out of Jeremy Clark? You've got to be ready, but oh my goodness. Opportunity blown.
Achenbach can't find the swing, and the cheeky pop into the end zone for the victory. And Merica take home the gold medal again.
Well, it all ended with a whisper, not a bang. My goodness, talk about getting in the heads of the opposition. Well-deserved win from Merica, that 3-point lead to open it up, and that huge rip. If only, Benji, if only it finished on the greatest from Jeremy Clark.
We're going super slow-mo. I think actually his foot has landed, so it wouldn't have counted if we'd been able to look at the replay. But you do always want a final to end in a spectacular way like that. Here Achenbach's looking for the swing, but he just sands and beaches it. Credit here actually, because Merica, they notice the opportunity for the quick pickup because Achenbach is frustrated with himself, and the simple catch and little drop spike for the score and the victory. Merica, the world great grandmasters, beach ultimate club champions. There are the game stats for you. Young Legends 5, Merica 10, 5 breaks to 1, 4 fewer turnovers, 3 clean holds, and very impressively, 4 clean breaks.
Indeed, it was all about that dynamic defense in the first half of the match. It was such a grinder. Half time, it came so early in this game, but that was a fantastic way to finish us off, even with the difference in the scoreline, Benji.
Well, you talk about the clean offense in the first half. Merica did not turn it over in that first half. All 10 of those turnovers came after half time, but by that point, Merica had built themselves enough of a break, and even with turning it over more, Young Legends just couldn't generate the breaks that they needed. Only got 1 all game, as you can see from our scoreboard.
I'm going to ask you a real difficult question, Benji. Who's your player of the match?
That is a very, very good question. I might go Arnold Sanchez. I feel like, especially in the red zone, he was a defensive powerhouse who refused to be beaten. Just seemingly that telepathic connection with the Young Legends throwers. So he was always getting in those lanes, getting those blocks.
Indeed, we also have to give some honourable mentions. I think Sean Megagraph really impressed as well, sort of, similarly in the minds of the opposition. And Rüdiger Fatal for the Germans, as well as Volker Schmidt. Big lads doing big things. Yeah,
I think this is comfortably the best we've seen Merica on stream this week, and that's when you want to play your best, when it matters most. In the final, and that is that. We had the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships last weekend, a couple of days off before here, the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships, if I can get my words out, both sides sharing a drink with one another, toasting the phenomenal crowd and their counterparts in the various other teams this week. It's been a wonderful experience, both events. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to ulti.TV's coverage. We've got such a wonderful, hard-working crew. Nick, Luna, Chips, Felix, Lucia, Milan, all work so hard behind the scenes. They don't get enough thanks, in my opinion. If you're watching and you see them around, make sure you buy them a drink of their choice. You can see Luna lurking at the back of the box, and there's Milan, Yellow Jesus himself, John Lemon, rocking the sunglasses. There's us in the booth looking, I think, relatively fashionable.
Well, we're a lovely contrasting colours in the orange and purple. But if you want to keep Ultimate free to watch live and on demand, please do consider supporting us with your hard-earned cash. You can hit the like button, you can hit the subscribe button of every single one of our videos, which will cost you £0 and 0 pence precisely, apart from these rising energy bills. But if you want to give us the cost of but a patisserie croissant or a coffee or whatever your choice item is, once a month you can do so. You can join our patron squad throughout the off season, keep us working hard on these projects for you. Patreon.com/ulti.TV, or check out our socials for all the links and the highlights. Thank you so much for our editing crew for putting together that extra bonus content about all these wonderful athletes out here on these sandy pitches.
So many wonderful stories that we love telling during the games, and now with the expanded team, more of a scope to tell them away from the field as well, which is a wonderful addition to the Ulti TV crew. I'd like to give a huge shout out to our various partners and sponsors. as well. Force for providing us with our swag. By the way, you can get your own ulti.TV gear on Force's website, force-sportswear.com. I think you can find them all on there. At least that's what the little tag in my t-shirt says. Lookfly have provided all the gear for the tournament, the official Bula supplier for this event and for EBUCC last weekend. Eurodisc for providing those snazzy pink game discs as well, the Portimão municipality, the whole Bula family as well, Sophia, Patrick, Pedro, Ricardo, all of the wonderful volunteers on site who do a phenomenal job, keep the tournaments running and never get enough thanks. I always think it's a good sign of how good a tournament is when you is how well the volunteers are looked after, and I feel like they are such an integral part of these events, and Bula does a phenomenal job with that, and I think that is that.
The last thanks, of course, though, to all the athletes who came out here and gave it their all on these sands in Portimão. It's been an absolute pleasure, an honour and a privilege to bring you the coverage of all of the teams that we've seen over the past week and a half.
ulti.TV goes into hibernation over the winter in Europe, but don't worry, we'll try our best to find any frisbee we can and bring it to you and bring you some extras online as well. We're looking at European indoors in Lithuania in December. Of course, we've got our team on the other side of the world, down under. We'll see if they can get some ultimate for you as well. If you want to be the first to know what we're up to and when we're about, you can subscribe to our newsletter as well. We mentioned liking, subscribing, hitting the notification button on YouTube, patronizing us. We love it to see everyone who supports the hard-working crew. For all of us here at the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships, the ulti.TV crew, as mentioned, Nick, Aluna, Chips, Felix, Lucia and Milan. Your final score here is Young Legends going down. Merica win the gold medal, 10-5 final score for Hannah Pendlebury. Benji Reese saying, we'll see you on another surface.
Right now, he's going to have to bid. Just a football.
Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed. Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ulti.TV.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. Ulti.League. Ulti.League.net.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ulti.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Don't want to miss anything?
There are loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on ulti.TV, link in the description.
ulti.TV, BUCC lyrical.
Merci beaucoup.
Ulti.TV.